Well, here we go. Doing an old switcheroo. Last show, last Thursday, we couldn't record because old Troy had a little case of the strep. But here we are. We're back. We're better than ever. And we're coming out on a different day this week. It's a big Monday show. And with a big Monday comes a little spook fest here. Doing a little bit of a Halloween retrograde here as we're talking about Troy's pick for a scary film. Last time, of course, we did my pick. Now we're doing Troy's. We're doing Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Got old Donald Sutherland. Got old Jeff Goldblum. Got a chick that looks like Sally Field. We got it all. We're talking about it here on a very pod people edition of the Review. Troy, is this a rat turd?
Damn it. I was going to try to do that pig squeal point thing, but you caught me off guard with the rat turd. I can't even do it with strep throat. What am I even thinking about doing? Welcome to the Review, a show where two small town dudes give your big dumb opinions. This is about as loud as I can be. I'm Troy to the Max Extreme.
I'm a homeless dog person.
Oh. God, just hit after hit. We are going over my pick of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers that won my small little poll by a landslide, breaking in 50% of the votes.
So it's gotta be good, right?
It's gotta be good.
Gotta be good.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
We'll see.
We will see. Tonsils. Get you every time.
Tonsils.
We are gonna get into that. Before we do so, JT, we get into a little bit of something we call the news.
Put it on me.
What happened this last week? Starting with Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Holly, get the fuck out of here, fly. It's goddamn November. Why are you still around?
Goddamn son of a bitch.
Fucking flies.
I want to hear your bullshit.
It's very hot. My brain is a piece of shit. Anyway, Angry RV Salesman. Check it out sometime. It's the perfect video for today.
It's perfect.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
JT.
Yeah.
We know her from many things.
Yep.
From Swordfish.
You go for the one that she's topless in first.
We know her from
Monster.
We know her from Catwoman.
Just do all the ones where she's naked.
We know her from Monster. We know her from Storm.
Yeah.
From the X-Men franchise.
Yeah.
Well, she's not done with the Marvel Universe, JT.
Oh,
the MCU may be looking at her to come back in the Blade movie starring Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali. In a role I do yet not know.
My God.
But would you
be a vampire?
Maybe she could be a vampire.
A vampire?
A vampire? Blah. It's still spooky here. The remnants of October are still here in this room.
Oh, the chills.
I just saw Jack-o'-lantern like an hour ago.
It's giving me goose pimples.
Would you be into Halle Berry coming back for maybe a Blade film?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure, me too. Me too. She's fine. I didn't really care for her so much as Storm, but to be fair, she didn't really do a whole lot either. To be fair. To be fair. JT, streaming is huge nowadays.
Oh, we're less than 2 weeks away.
Less than 2 weeks, oh my God, my taste buds can just taste the sweet Disney magic that is going to be coming into my house.
Come inside me, Walt Disney.
Leave yourself in me. But one maybe didn't fire so hot this last weekend. Apple TV Plus dropped on Friday.
You didn't clamor to go watch C?
That or the morning show. I don't know if C is out yet. Is it out now?
I don't know. I saw that it put like trailers and stuff out for it.
Well, the morning show I know for sure dropped.
But there was a commercial for it on Hulu, and me and Molly just spent like a good 5 minutes just being like, how does any of this work?
That's when I watched the trailer too. I'm like, I don't know about this.
How is this society thriving? How do they make things? Why does anything look decorative?
I don't know. How would anybody know they have sight? The new kids have sight. They don't know. They can't see it. Oh, it's weird.
I know, and they're babies. So even if they were like, hey, I can see shit. They can't, because
they're babies.
Yeah, they're babies.
It makes no sense. Found a plot hole in your fucking movie, Apple. Anyway, critics weren't really thrilled with Apple TV's flagship The Morning Show, starring Jen Aniston and Steve Carell.
Yeah. Don't forget Reese Witherspoon.
And Reese Witherspoon. About a news anchor in the Me Too movement. That whole thing not based in real life.
Yeah. Jesus.
They calling the show brutally dull and boring were some of the quotes that I pulled for the reviews of the show.
Sounds like a bunch of sexists are reviewing this
others
shit.
Don't know why each episode costs $15 million. And Rolling Stone even saying throwing money at a problem isn't going to solve it. And I'm like, God damn. So critics aren't hot on it.
Yeah, it does not sound like... doesn't sound promising.
Also, throwing on to that is Apple is tossing out $6 billion for this launch of this thing for original programming, which is a lot of money. And I actually have a table here for comparisons of major streaming services.
Yeah.
I know you can't see this, but I'm going to try to make this as fun and informational as possible.
Awesome.
They have the big five, with Disney Plus being added. That's not out yet, but Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney Plus, and Apple TV. Apple TV being the cheapest of all of them.
Yeah.
At only $4.99 a month, or free if you buy a new iPhone or iPad for a year.
Okay.
So, I mean, that'll get people getting devices maybe if they want it. I don't know if that would be a thing.
Yeah.
And even then, with Hulu in this, they have the Disney Plus bundle option, which includes Hulu, so that one should be out. But otherwise, like, all the other ones are $8.99 or higher in price. So Apple TV's got them beat there. Mm-hmm. So even for... if you want to have two subscriptions, which you should, you'd still be only getting, it'd be still less than getting the basic Netflix package.
Jesus.
And that doesn't even count the HBO Max that's coming out, that's going against it, or the Peacock streaming service, which apparently is still going to be free.
It is?
It's got to be ad supported. That's the only way I can see it ever happening.
Yeah.
But they're still touting that, it's going to be free.
It's going to be free.
So we'll definitely see about that. But
yeah, because they're going to have the exclusive rights to The Office.
Yeah, The Office and Friends.
And Friends, yeah.
So that would be huge for them. I just want to see if they do pull that off and have a free model.
Yeah.
And somehow everyone thinks it's okay, how that'll affect all the other streaming services.
Yeah.
Henceforth. Like, because I was looking at even Netflix, it has 3 different tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Their cheapest model at $8.99. Looking at what they have coming in the pipeline to, like, compete with, like, Apple and Disney, they have 40-something original things coming out in December. Alone. Like 40 original things. Mostly are like Christmas related movies or programs.
I heard they're like getting in like the Hallmark department where they're like trying to put out a bunch of like really shitty Christmas movies.
Yeah. Well, they've already been there for a while.
They've been making they're like on the 3rd Christmas Prince.
That and I also saw with the pretty big success of having the Great British Bake Off come out the same day on Netflix as it does on the BBC.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it'd be Channel 4 over there anyway.
Yeah.
That was a huge success for them, so they might be looking for more reality type programs.
There you go.
Which is fine. I mean, they have a bunch of them already.
Oh, yeah.
But some of them are like, well, this is kind of boring.
This is a real morning show of a show.
So, I don't know. The streaming wars are really just getting started here.
It has begun.
With the with the all these foldings and ends of the big heavy hitters from the next couple months. So time will tell what will remain.
Who
on
will
top.
be on top?
Disney will be fun to see.
Yeah.
I still am curious, though, of what they won't have, the Disney Plus. I mean, they got a lot, but I'm guessing some of their hugely popular stuff that's still, like, outsourced to Netflix or whatever is still going to be, like, missing. So is, like, Infinity War and stuff going to be on there?
I think it will be, because I know they have a deal with Netflix up till...
It's like 2020, I think.
Yeah.
Or 2021, maybe.
Yeah, to have, like, what Marvel stuff they have up there now. But I think they're also going to have it on Disney Plus.
All right.
I believe so.
Because I would like to do, like, a whole run-through of all the Marvel movies.
Jesus.
Not in a day, but, you know, like, watch one a week or something like that.
It's impossible to watch them all in a day. Even when theaters were doing, like, the big, like, features of it, they had to do it over, like, the course of, like, 2 days.
Terminator Dark Fate also came out this last weekend to a bit of a thud as well, with a $185 budget.
Yeah.
It was expected to make anywhere between $38 and $47 million.
Yeah.
Came in, now box office hasn't closed yet as of today, Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's only made $29 million so far.
Ooh.
And it's been dropping steadily ever since. When I checked Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's dropped by millions and millions of dollars. It's still the #1 movie domestically.
Yeah.
But even by yesterday, it was almost on par with The Joker that's been out for weeks.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Wow.
So I don't know why this is like a huge surprise to everybody.
I know.
But this is like the third time they've tried to relaunch the Terminator in 10 years.
Keyword tried.
Maybe it's been longer than 10 years, but like it's been not a great track record.
No.
Even when they get Linda Hamilton back and Arnold back and James Cameron back and say everything after T2 doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
This still is just like,
meh.
Because it's been so recent.
Yeah.
Since Genesis.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know the thing that they've been touting a lot is like, it's the best Terminator since Terminator 2. And it's like, is that a brag thing?
Well, look at all the other ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's not like, it's like saying this is the best shitty movie
of all the shitty movies.
This
This
one
one
might
be less shitty.
This is the least shitty.
But even then, I think Terminator 3 is fine.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah. It's not like as good as Terminator 2, but like I think it's pretty good still.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just in retrospect. Like, after everything else came out, like, oh, maybe we should have been not so hard on T3.
we should look back and ponder. Like, did we do the right thing?
As we're on the subject of Joker, JT. Joker. It has just broke over $900 million at the box office.
Close to that bill.
Clutching almost that Bill Bell.
Getting that Bill Bell.
It'll be
ready.
there almost. That has to be then the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time.
It is. Yeah,
is it already there?
Yeah, it surpassed Deadpool 2, I think, was the highest grossing.
Okay. That blows me away. I mean, we were just talking about Joker like right before we hit record again for whatever reason.
Yeah. Like I said that it's kind of like striking me as Suicide Squad did, but it's like this is on like a higher like
threshold.
Echelon. Yeah. Whereas with Suicide Squad, I came out of it thinking it was all right, and now I think it sucks.
Yeah.
And with this, I was like, I really liked it, and then now I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, right. And I came out thinking I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I've kind of just stayed there.
Yeah.
But the more people talk about it, or the more jackasses that dress up as the Joker, I'm just like, God, this hit this audience at a weird time, and I don't know if I like anybody now.
I know.
Anybody.
And especially now, like, I'm getting people that are like, I'm getting in conversations with, like, friends of mine that, like, praise the shit out of the Joker, and then they'll be like, yeah, Midsommar was okay. And I'm just like,
Granted, everyone's reviews are subjective.
Yeah,
fucking A.
Still.
I get it. You like the Joker. Shut the fuck up about it. It just sucks that it's also something you can easily dress up as, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta be
cake a bunch of shit-ass makeup on your face, and you're like, I'm the Joker.
Oh, nice burgundy suit.
Yeah.
Did you rent that?
Just go dance up some stairs, you piece of shit.
Grant, if you've done that, you're fine. But Jesus, get a life.
Stop harassing old women trying to go to work.
Yeah. My last bit of news, JT, is video game related news.
Video game.
One that's not released to the mass audiences yet.
Okay.
But is soon to release is Death Stranding.
Yeah.
The newest.
I've been seeing commercials for that on Hulu too.
Yeah, it's been like super pumped to the masses out there as like the next hugest thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking, because this isn't a video game real podcast here, but every once in a while we dabble.
Oh yeah.
But it's, if you've seen any commercials for it, it's the one where like Norman Reedus is the main character.
Yeah.
And he's carrying around some sort of baby in a bottle.
Yeah.
And
looks like he's wearing like a weird robotic flower on his back.
Guillermo del Toro and Conan O'Brien make appearances in this.
What?
Anyway, Hideo Kojima, the guy behind Metal Gear Solid, made this game. And it's coming out to some mixed reviews so far from people who've played it already.
Yeah.
Mostly everyone's consensus.
What the fuck?
Kind of. Everyone's review is mostly the same, saying that it's a gorgeous, beautiful game.
Yeah.
But it is boring as fuck. IGN, it's like my main source of like they kind of can gauge stuff the way I like it.
Yeah.
Gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I actually have the site open because I wanted to read a paragraph from one of the reviewers. Let's see if I can get through this here. After the past 3 years of cryptic and confusing teaser trailers, the question on everyone's lips has been, what exactly is Death Stranding? Well, now we know, and the answer is complicated. The first game from famed designer Hideo Kojima since his dramatic departure from publisher Konami and his long-running Metal Gear franchise is a boldly inventive slab of sci-fi, fastidiously crafted to host some of the most breathtaking sights I've ever witnessed in any medium, video game or otherwise. See? High praise. It's also a cross-country crawl that frequently finds itself mirrored in an exhausting amount of inventory management, backtracking, one-note mission design, and unprecedentedly arduous travel. It's evident that Kojima and his team at Kojima Productions have worked extremely hard to build Death Stranding, but it's also painfully clear that they expect us to match their determination in order to fully enjoy it. So even when I was reading further on in that, I was reading about their inventory system.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it, but it can also be very annoying. So, like, you know in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can just carry 1,000,000 guns.
Yeah.
And it's just on your wheel, and you can just pick one out or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this one, anything that you carry, you can physically see on you.
Yeah.
And everything has weight to it. So you can only carry so much if you want to travel quickly.
Yeah.
Even to the point where there was a quote in there. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's encounter. Oh, no. Let me see. It's taking Sam, Norman Reedus, for a short walk up a slight hill feels more like trying to push a wheelbarrow full of bricks up a flight of stairs. So I would say that's fairly arduous. So, I don't know. I saw a poster of this game as well, and it had a ton of perfect scores on the front, but none of them are from things that I ever have heard of or trust in any sense of the word. Like, We Got This Covered. Do you know them from fucking Twitter?
Yeah.
They suck at just saying just fake shit all the time.
Yeah. Gave
it a perfect score. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. So I guess time will tell. There's no actual real user score yet.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested because I am generally in the positive for Hideo Kojima stuff, even though I wasn't a huge fan of every Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't like sitting through hour-long cutscenes telling me what nanomachines are for the 500th time.
Yeah.
And why I should care about them.
I can't... was it a friend of ours gave me, like, a Metal Gear game where it's, like, it's so fucking weird. Like, there's, like, a point where, like, you're naked running through, like, a simulation.
Yeah, Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've beaten that one the most for whatever reason. I don't know
Why?
I don't know why. I had a PS2, so like that was like the best thing for a while.
You get to a point where it's like, oh, this whole game that you've been playing, it was a simulation the whole time. Like, what?
Yeah.
In the fuck?
Yeah. What the actual fuck is going on? Metal Gear 3 is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I've heard that one's really good.
It's when you're in the jungle and shit.
Yeah.
That one's super fun.
And like takes place like in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Metal Gear 1 is also like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
For the original PlayStation's really good too.
Yeah.
Metal Gear 4 for the PlayStation 3, I could just not get into.
Yeah.
And like I see a ton of great scores for it. My brothers love it, but I'm like, I don't give a shit about that.
Isn't that the one that has like an hour and a half long cutscene?
Yeah. And it's all about nanomachines. And you go back to the Metal Gear 1 stuff. But even then, it's just like not enough for me to be excited. I don't know. It's like a way, way complicated plot of all the things you have to remember from other games that are folding in on itself. I'm like, I don't know. Fuck this.
God, I know.
But the fifth one seems pretty good.
Metal Gear Solid just felt like it was made... Like, Hideo Kojima had to be on drugs. Putting some of that shit in Metal... Like, I remember, like, watching you play it, and then when you get to, like, a certain boss that could read your mind, you have to, like, switch the port.
Yeah. That was controller. Awesome. I loved that shit. Like, secret... Like, all that kind of stuff. But, like, I could just see, like, Hideo coming into the office, and he's like, guys, I have a vision. And everyone's like, fuck.
God damn it. We have to invent something.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, yeah. Anyway,
do you have anything non-alcoholic in the fridge?
I might have Fresca over there.
Is it okay if I get one?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Okay.
I'm glad you're going there when I've just finished my news, but I'll fill time. No problem. No problem, JT. Oh, shit. Do I have anything in there that's non-alcoholic?
There's no Fresca.
There's some in the kitchen. Fuck it. I'm sitting here drinking this nice honey tea.
Okay.
Would you like a sip of my honey tea?
No. I don't want your throat disease on me.
Sounds like a good plan. It put me out for days, I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
I never call into work. I called into work.
Yeah.
And then it was Halloween, so I felt like obligated I should go because I said I would dress up as a group costume. Felt like shit. Came back the next day, and I immediately walked in like, I need to go to acute care because I am fucking dying here. I was up all night because my throat hurt so bad.
Man.
I'm never up because my throat hurts.
Yeah. I have not. I think the last time I've been up from my throat hurting, I was like 6.
Yeah. I haven't had strep throat since I've probably been 6.
Yeah.
But it's all in my tonsils, so thank God when I cough, it's not hitting that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, but it's anytime I even swallow spit, like I wince. Yeah. It's like my tonsils are pin cushions and all the pins get shoved in them at once.
God.
So I didn't hardly eat anything for 2 days either. Jesus. So here I am. Feeling okay. I gave my boss, I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave in an hour to go to acute care. Okay, well, maybe we'll see you. I'm like, I'll come back. And they're like, oh, okay. So I came back to work, right? Yeah. Like, what do you have? Strep, for sure. And they're like, and you came back?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's either I work here or go home and have to pick up my kids and maybe give them strep throat. Yeah. So
I'd rather give you guys strep throat.
Yeah, I don't have to live with you guys, okay? So I'm coming back to work.
I'd rather ruin your guys' lives.
So fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all. Troy, I got some Star Wars news.
Lay on me.
Lay on me. Ja Rule.
Firefest.
The duo of David Benioff and D.B. Wise from Game of Thrones were supposed to do the next Star Wars trilogy. and keyword was supposed to.
Oh God.
Because apparently they were all like, you know what? Yeah, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna take this Netflix deal that they're gonna give us like 6 figures.
Oh, okay.
Or no, I think 9 figures because they're gonna
9 figures.
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna get paid like $150 million or something to do something for Netflix.
I'll go for it.
And then they were like, yeah, so your whole Star Wars thing, we're just gonna scrap it and not do it. And people are saying that this is the reason doing Star Wars was the reason why the last season of Game of Thrones sucked so bad.
Oh, really?
Because they were like rushing through it to get to Star Wars.
Oh boy.
And now there's like, yeah, fuck Star Wars.
Oh, that's
so now
funny.
people are like, yeah, these guys seem like kind of shysters.
Well, I mean, I guess if they're Star Wars is like a big thing to want to like work on,
Yeah,
to like leave your legacy in a huge thing.
Yeah,
but then I guess like to see how daunting it could be, and then a bigger offer comes, I would probably jump at that.
Yeah,
be like, that seems daunting. I've seen how much shit Rian Johnson took for Last Jedi.
Oh yeah. Especially with them, they're probably like, especially with all the shit they're getting for Game of Thrones, they're like, I don't want to do this again.
I could not possibly take this maybe 2 times in a row. I'm going to go and do whatever I want at Netflix for $150 million.
I don't want to go black on social media for another 6 years.
So were they going to be the writer-directors of it, or just the writers?
I think directing for sure. I don't know if they were going to write it, but
I see. I kind of wonder if that's why like Feige was already put in place, even though he's not directing; he's more producing stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. Funny,
curious,
funny,
fun. On more Game of Thrones news, HBO is really kind of having to come to Jesus moments right now when it comes to Game of Thrones, because they're like, you know what? It didn't really end that well. We had all these fucking Game of Thrones prequels in the works. So I think they're scrapping a lot of them now.
That's okay.
One in particular, like the one that was starring Naomi Watts, which was supposed to take place like thousands of years in the past. They're just like, yeah, fuck this. Let's get rid of this.
Well, people have got, like, I don't know. People have got to see, though, like, how quickly Game of Thrones, like, nobody talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
After it was done.
Yeah, everyone's just like, yeah.
So,
let's not.
After all that cooled so rapidly, who would be jonesing for fucking a ton of spin-off stuff?
Yeah, I think there's the one thing they still have in the works is they're going to do like a mini series on like the origins of the Targaryens.
Sure.
Which is like, but even that's still like 100 years in the past from the original season of Game of Thrones, where it's like, why are you doing all this shit where you're not going to know anybody?
I hate any of that shit. As a person who loved Game of Thrones, JT.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
I don't care about this at all.
Wow. Yeah. I don't. You. That was all you talked about.
Couldn't shut up about it. Really.
I couldn't get you to shut up about Game of Thrones.
You know why I'm so hoarse right now? It's because I was just talking for weeks on end about Game of Thrones.
I literally showed up here 3 hours ago, and every time I tried to start the show, you're like, "But wait, what about this from Game of Thrones?"
That's me in a nutshell.
Couldn't get you to shut up about it.
You got me pegged.
You probably already know about this, but CW is apparently doing their own version of Lois and Clark with the with the Superman they have now and the person playing Lois called Superman and Lois.
I saw that was possibly in the works. I didn't know if it was a for sure thing, but I'd be into it. I really like him as Superman.
Yeah.
Of course, I haven't watched much of any of these things since last year on their big crossover.
Yeah.
But when he does show up, I think he like plays a very good, like lighthearted, nice Superman.
Yeah.
Like the best one I've seen on screen in a while.
Yeah, and I was kind of reading up on it, and I guess it's like they're playing it up where they're already married, so a lot of the show is going to be like, how do they, like, juggle a marriage with, how do you juggle a marriage with, like, the most powerful man in the world kind of thing. So that'd be probably pretty interesting.
I think in the show, in Supergirl, so they don't have to have, like, Superman be on the show and, like, kind of take her lead role.
Yeah.
They kind of went off and be like, well, we're just going to vanish for a while and, like, just raise a family.
Yeah.
I think that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I'd be cool if they... Now, hear me out, because I'm going to renege on something that I've said, like, 100 times, that they might have a son, and I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
To raise a son in, like, a world that they live in now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I hate it in Superman Returns because they already have established continuity and they pigeonholes them into some weird corner.
Yeah.
But I feel in this, it would work.
Okay.
So I'm very picky on when Superman has a son and when it could or could not work. And this is one where I think it can.
You're just being very... Look, Superman, you just got to do it when it feels right. You can't just go rush into having a family. It has to feel right.
That's right. That's right. See, you get it.
I'm just imagining you just sitting Superman down, being like, look, man, you just got to look at your life and know when's the right time to start a family.
That's right.
Or more importantly, when is it going to be? When do I think it's going to be okay for you to start a family?
Yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, why don't you take a seat, son, and let's have a talk. And I sit on my chair backwards and roll up my sleeves.
Hey, sport.
All right, let's have a chat, son, okay? Now comes a point in a man's life where he decides to start having a family. I think this is the right time for you.
Now, if
You
you're
have
going to be in
your
a
own
movie,
series.
if you're going to be in a movie, and it just happens out of nowhere, it's not the right time to do it.
No.
You're going to want to wait till you get into a TV show.
That's right. And you can establish real continuity.
Establish real continuity towards it. That's when it feels right to start a family.
That would be a talk. I think it would go over very well.
Oh, my God. This show's so fucking stupid. Troy, Disney is apparently working on its own Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
With Bill Condon.
Bill Condon
doing a lot of I think
who the hell is that?
He did the 2017 live action Beauty and the Beast.
I see.
I think he was the director of it.
I see. They're gonna do a Christmas Carol again.
Yeah. Did Disney do a Christmas? I think they did a Mickey Christmas Carol.
Who did the one with Jim Carrey as Ebenezer?
That was Ivan Reitman, because he does all the... Isn't he the one that does all the weird, like, face stuff? Like...
The weird face stuff?
Like, yeah, when he gets, like, live-action people, but then they animates it so they look like freaking, like, weird Uncanny Valley figures.
Like Polar Express type shit?
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
I think Ivan Reitman does all that weird stuff.
Why wouldn't that still be Disney, though?
I don't think
Just
it was
say
Disney.
Jim Carrey...
Was it Disney?
Christmas Carol. Oh, came out in 2009. My God.
It doesn't feel like that was Disney.
Director was Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, Robert Zemeckis. That's what it was.
Robert Zemeckis. 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it did not do good.
I remember seeing it. I don't remember much besides Ebenezer's getting his nuts cracked on a bunch of icicles or something.
Jesus.
That's all I remember about that movie. Shows what I took away from it.
Nuts cracked.
Gets his nuts cracked. Production company, Walt Disney Pictures.
Son of a bitch.
In your stupid face.
Well, I guess they're doing another one then.
Good for them. Why not? They remake everything else.
Why not? We're going to learn that in the biggest way possible coming up.
Coming up this week?
Coming up this week.
Yes, this week.
This week?
This week.
Troy got some news on Dr. Sleep. A lot of critics are seeing it, and they're getting it a pretty high praise.
Oh, my
Going
gosh.
as far as to saying that it is the best Stephen King adaptation since Shawshank Redemption.
Whoa. Get out of here.
Yeah. So.
But is this a Stephen King adaptation or just?
Yeah, because he did write a sequel to.
Oh, okay. I did not know
The
that.
Shining, and I think it is called Doctor Sleep.
Well, knock me over with a feather. You got me. All right, you got me.
Fine. You're right. Is that what you want to hear? We'll see. Well, my last bit of news, Troy. There's a documentary in the works on the life of Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, cool.
And it's by the same people that did 20 Feet from Stardom, which I've heard that's really good too.
Which one was that one?
It's the one where like they think they like interview like a lot of backup singers for like R&B.
That was good. I remember seeing that.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah, that one's really good. A lot of I watched it when it just came out, so I don't remember much of it. But yeah, I remember liking that one.
Yeah, sweet,
good deal.
But yeah, so it's the same people that did that are doing this, and I'd be curious to see like what they do, like if they like dive into like his depression and stuff, like because he just seems like such a fascinating guy, and then he still ends up committing suicide, and it's just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, Chelsea and her mom love him.
Yeah, like
they have like all of his books. He actually did a comic, like a horror comic.
Yeah.
And I bought that for Chelsea last year for Christmas. Ever since like his departure, like people have tried to like mimic his show, like his No Reservations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's never been the same. Like even other people's like travel shows, not to say like that's his only contribution.
Yeah.
But like he showed like way more than just like local cuisine. He like got in the shit. Like one time he just ended up on like a huge drug bust. Did you see that fucking episode where they burned like a mountain of pot?
Holy shit.
And like we're like under like you had like guns and shit pointed at him, and it was like came out of nowhere. He's like, holy fuck, like that's crazy shit. But like even now, like Netflix has the guy that does all the food shows and stuff now.
Yeah, like the guy that does like Ugly Delicious or whatever.
Yeah, and Ugly Delicious was good, but he's got another one now. I'm just like, I don't know. It's just not.
Like he takes like stars into like their favorite places to get food and shit.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think it's called. It's all right. I don't know, but I'm just looking. Like he had a personality where he just seemed like a. Maybe he just seemed like a guy that you know already, and not kind of like overly pretentious. Like he just sat down and wanted a cold beer and a cigarette.
Yeah.
And like that's the kind of guy I would rather listen to his opinion or his like theory on life.
Yeah.
Than like some guy who, you know, I could tell he did good in the restaurant business.
Yeah, like if I'm going to watch a show where someone hangs out, I want him to be someone that I want to hang out with.
Yeah, but even then, like, just personally, he just seems like a very interesting guy. And like with all the money and travel and stuff that was like thrown at him.
Yeah.
Like what was really going on in his head.
Yeah.
Because it came out of nowhere.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah. Anyway, interesting. I would like to see that.
Yeah. But Troy, I do have some bits.
Oh, God. Is it Anthony Bourdain? We already knew about that, right?
Well, yeah, that was a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, so I got some bits for a segment we call Neil's Bits. Get it up here, Neil.
I'm going to see if I can go get a Fresca in the time it's done.
Yes! Give me one.
People dying, it's the pits. Please stay tuned to Neil's Bits.
Will Troy beat the Neil's Bits theme back here? It's getting close. Troy's not back yet. Oh, and he did not beat the Neil's Bits theme. Nope, you didn't get it. You didn't get it. Oh, sweet. What a nice, refreshing Fresca.
I almost had to hop over 2 kids, so give me some fucking slack.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm not drinking today because I had a show last night, and those always end in a shit show at the end. So.
I was going to ask you how your weekend went, because we never do these.
Yeah.
After a weekend.
Yeah.
We're always prepping for one.
Yeah, no. I had a show last night, and there's a bar at the show, so it's always dangerous, especially when I'm first, which I was.
I thought you loved to be the opener.
No, I love being the opener. Don't get me wrong. Last night was fun. It's just the
next
Sunday
day.
after is where I'm like, what the fuck?
What am I doing?
But yeah, I got 2 bits, Troy.
Oh,
2 bits.
Christ. 2 bits.
2 bits. The first one
Dirty bit.
is a John Witherspoon
Oh.
dying at age 76. If you don't know, he was the
That's very familiar
he was the
sounding.
father in Friday.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he was always funny.
Yes.
Always good.
Yep. I'm not a huge fan of the Friday movies. They're not necessarily for me.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But like I have seen I think just Friday and it's great. Like it's funny. And
Yeah.
anytime he shows up it's great. Anytime he shows up in anything else really,
Yeah.
it's always a good time. God,
I always
too
love
bad.
like the sequels to Friday are always a week apart, but then they came out like years apart. Like, you guys were clearly much older than you were last week.
You aged horribly in a week.
But yeah. So John Witherspoon, R.I.P. And my other bit, Troy. This is more of a local one for us, but I figured it'd be worth bringing up because he's my former boss.
Oh boy.
Happy Joe Whitty
Oh yeah. I saw that.
passed
Chelsea
away
brought
at
that up
age
to me.
82.
Your former boss.
Yep. For those of you that don't know, we live in an area where there's a
Pizza chain.
Yeah, pizza and ice cream chain called Happy Joe's, and their founder is Happy Joe Whitty, and he passed away. All I can say is that for the longest time, it's not even there anymore. It's closed down.
Yeah.
Like the Happy Joes that we had, but I always made fun of it because for the longest time, they had a LED sign that said pizza and ice cream, and the the and ice burnt out, so it just looked like it said Happy Joe's Pizza Cream. And I would always point it out to Molly every time we drove by. Even when they fixed it, I was like, hey, look, pizza cream.
Now I don't want to knock him when a man's down, especially when he's 6 feet under, but that pizza was expensive.
It was very expensive.
It was like $30 for a large.
Yeah.
And
don't they credit him for like inventing taco pizza?
I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
Taco pizza was great. I liked
I don't
it.
fucking know.
But it just I don't know, man. I don't know. When you can get another large pizza in town for $10,
Yeah.
and a large pizza at Happy Joe's is $30.
Yeah.
I see why you went out of business.
Yeah. Especially like, I think the main reason they went out of business is because they wanted to like have like a cooler image.
Mm-hmm.
So they got rid of all of like the kids' games and tried to be more of a bistro,
Yeah.
which is a bad idea, especially like in Galena,
Yeah.
where it's like everything's a fucking bistro down there.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't really help him. It always like it also was too bad that they did a full-on remodel of the whole building and it closed within a year.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god. Last ditch effort. When there's like one in Iowa
Yep.
that like hasn't remodeled since the 70s.
Yeah, it legit, yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
up and going.
It looks like it's out of the 70s. Yeah, it's
But Happy Joe,
Happy Joe.
we tip our frescas to thee.
Yes.
Maybe if you sold some frescas there, you'd still be up and running, but who knows?
Oh man, look how Troy really going hard on that Fresca sponsorship. If you drank more Fresca, you'd probably still be alive.
I meant in business, not alive. God.
Really going hard on that. You really want that Fresca sponsorship.
I would just love a Fresca sponsorship. Is that too much to ask? God damn it.
If you sponsored us Fresca, I would cut myself. Like, Jesus, Troy, it's not worth it.
This sip of Fresca, I think my strep throat is gone.
I think I have superpowers.
This crisp, refreshing taste has cured everything that ails me.
What a nice, refreshing can of Fresca. Watch me bend this steel bar.
Say goodbye to cancer.
No! I think we're curing world hunger with my Fresca.
Disclaimer: Fresca does not cure cancer or world hunger.
And those are all the bits, Troy. So you know it's done.
Oh my God, you do know it's done.
You do know.
Footy's out. The movie's done. I got two.
I got two as well.
I got two trailers. JT.
I got two trailers.
All right. Well, you want me to start?
Go
chime in
for it.
So we have one that dropped by the streaming giant Netflix.
Yeah.
You have this one?
No.
What's his name? Why can't I think of it? It's not the right person's name. I keep wanting to say Sam Worthington, and it's not. Who played Superman recently?
Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill stars as the Witcher in Netflix's The Witcher. Coming very soon.
Yeah.
Did you ever play The Witcher?
No.
Me neither. So I have no connection to this whatsoever, but it looks fine.
All I remember is he had a sheath of 3 swords for some reason.
I didn't. I know at one point I've seen gameplay. He was just with a harem of women.
Oh boy.
And maybe I'm even confusing that with God of War. I don't remember.
Getting it on.
But The Witcher looks like a film that Henry Cavill is in, and he wears a wig. And a white wig at that. Looks like a Dungeons and Dragons-esque type adventure.
Yeah.
People who probably played the game are yelling at me now that it's great, but guess what? Any video game adaptation has never been great, so suck on my penis. So we will just wait and see.
That was such a nonchalant way of saying that.
So we will wait and see how this actually is, especially if it's out from Netflix. Not to dog on Netflix, but they'll put out anything.
Yep. They always put out.
There you go. My second trailer, JT,
Yes.
is a remake, actually, produced by Sam Raimi.
Yes.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
The Grudge is getting a remake.
I've been seeing things for this on Hulu. They'll put out like small clips here and there. It looks like terrible quality.
The full trailer I saw looked okay.
Okay. Because the clips they put up on Hulu, they were like filmed so bad that I was like, is this a Geico commercial?
Oh God.
Like, when did Henry Cho star in a horror-themed Geico commercial? And then it's like, it's The Grudge.
It's The Grudge. Like, the only thing I have going for it right now is that Sam Raimi's producing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of something that he has produced that hasn't been like, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But this is also like a remake of a remake.
Yeah, and that always goes over real well.
And I've seen the original Grudge.
Yeah.
And I just thought I'm not scared of The Grudge.
No.
It doesn't scare me. It's the same kind of deal, too, where it's a long-haired chick going, like crawling around on the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they even had the same...
Do they have the little boy that meows?
I didn't have a meowing boy on this one. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But it even has like the same, like filmed in the same kind of house with the same weird boxy modern architecture, like Japanese style architecture, and it's set in America, I would assume. And
well, no, the original Grudge or even I think the American remake takes place in Japan.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, because it's like people who like move there for work or whatever reason. Anyway, but they even have the same shot in the trailer as they do in the first one, where somebody's taking a shower and the hand comes out of their hair.
Yeah.
That's like the last shot in this trailer too. I'm like, God, it just seems wholly unoriginal. Of all things to do The Grudge again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So we'll see.
I don't know.
It's not for me.
I don't know.
What do you got? What do you got for trailers? What's coming out? What's done?
They put out another trailer for The Mandalorian. This one has more shots of the Mandalorian himself.
Okay.
And they never show him out of costume. Like, it looks like they might be
Cool.
doing like a Judge Dredd thing with him.
Cool.
Where he's just always dressed up like Boba Fett.
Awesome. I'm into it.
Constantly.
I'm into
So yeah. Yeah, because there's... I think he's being played by Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
But they never show him outside of the costume in the trailer.
Yeah. I missed the trailer. I saw that it had a new one. I didn't watch it yet. I'm kind of just waiting for it to drop, and I'm just gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I'm more on the lines of the less I know, I think the more fun I'll have.
Yeah.
Not that any Star Wars movie as of late has given a lot away. Not
Yeah.
that this is a movie, but
But
I'm
like
looking forward to it.
The way this looks, though, it looks like a Star Wars movie. Like, they put a lot into this.
Oh
it
yeah,
looks like.
for sure. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're spending Apple money on this kind of stuff, but it looks good.
Yeah.
And it looks like even like a departure from the movie in feel, you know?
Yeah, like it looks like gritty.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of like anything at most like Rogue One, but we haven't seen anything like that since.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of aesthetic. And I probably am just counteracting like my opinion from Rogue One. Oh, dude, what's up, baby?
Whoa.
No, she's probably at the gate. She can't come in. I locked her out.
Oh no.
But anyway, I think in Rogue One I said it just doesn't feel like Star Wars.
Yeah. And now you're...
Now I'm kind of like, maybe I'm into that. Maybe I would recant and think I'd like Rogue One a little better.
You have to sit down Star Wars and be like, look, you gotta know when to...
You gotta know how to feel.
Gotta know how you... Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. What? I don't want to repeat what you may or may not have said. Anyway, I'm into it. The Mandalorian.
There you
Bring
go.
it to me.
Can't wait.
Original day one release of Disney Plus.
Yes. Yes.
to me.
And they also put out a final trailer for Jumanji: The Next Level.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a lot of fun.
It does look like fun.
Yeah. Especially with... I don't know. It just looks like The Rock and Kevin Hart are playing off each other even more in this because they're both being played by old men.
Mm-hmm. I'm into it. I never thought I would be into a remake of Jumanji, but it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks fun, at least.
There's like a part where like The Rock's like looking in like this windshield of a car and he's like, man, I haven't looked like this in a long time. And then Kevin Hart's like, you literally never looked like this.
My eyes are a different color. Yeah. Your whole body is a different color. It looks good. I can't wait. I know.
It looks like fun.
I'm ready to have fun.
I'm ready to have fun. But Troy, I got the term of random movies, and this is going to be an interesting talk about it because I've already put the poll out.
Uh-huh.
I put it out on the Thursday.
Yes.
That we put out our major flashback
Mm-hmm.
show, which I hope everyone liked because I did a kind of a bigger one. I did a twofer
Mm-hmm.
with our reviews of The Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast to get ready for our big Disney-fied
Mm-hmm.
November.
Mm-hmm.
But I already put the poll out so we can see who's winning at this point. Because, of course, we saw that actually Mortal Kombat moved on in that semifinal match. So, Troy, you a little heartbroken that your
a little bit.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas didn't make it through.
I probably would have said that I wouldn't be surprised if either one won.
Yeah.
But I kind of was. Yeah. I was kind of surprised that Mortal Kombat took it over Little Whorehouse.
Yeah. It wasn't like a big victory, though. I think that it was pretty neck and neck.
I didn't see what the final percentage was. I just saw what won. I'm like, well, I'll be... maybe it was the pony I was betting on as well to win the whole thing.
Yeah, because everyone hates you so much that they just constantly are picking the thing you don't want to go through.
Because it's so fair to me.
Let me see who moved. Yeah, it was like by 1 vote it won.
Oh, jeez Louise.
It beat Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, so... Yeah, it was 13 votes altogether, and Mortal Kombat at 54%.
Well.
So it's Mortal Kombat versus Mr. Magoo.
I can't even believe.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
And it's looking like... it's looking pretty set in stone that Mortal Kombat's going to move on.
Take the whole thing?
Yeah. It's currently at 71% of the vote. 71% of the votes with 14 votes in.
Okay.
And there's 2.5 days left.
2.5 days left. We've seen oddities happen, especially if I retweet something and be like, people vote. It usually ends up not in my favor.
Yeah. When OJ or Eric get a bug up their ass,
oh my god,
they can move mountains sometimes.
What's up, Macy? What about your food? Okay.
You're gonna give food to mommy?
Good talk, Mace. So, there was the day that I call off work, which was Wednesday, which is why we couldn't record earlier. And I was home, and actually Macy was sick as well. So not only did I have like zero energy, or could barely speak, I also had to watch over a 2.5-year-old that day, which made it physically demanding and mentally demanding. But I wanted to try to get a 10-minute short round episode in for Charm Type.
Where you both can't speak.
Where we both are just sick as dogs and try to get something out. But I ended up being like, that's a bad idea for both me and my daughter. I shouldn't do it. But I really think now, if I ever decide to do one, it'll be a good idea. Because she's very talkative now. Until you turn on the mics, and then she clams right up. But
just convince her that the mic's not on.
I usually try to do that, but she finds it weird when I have headphones on and I'm looking right at a laptop.
just kind of be like, get her attention somewhere and then be like, okay, it's on. I wasn't wearing headphones.
Especially when I'm on a laptop, all she does is want to watch Baby Shark on a laptop. That's all she wants to do. And now that the TV's broken in here, there's no other thing to draw her attention away unless I let her play with my tablet.
I would love a live commentary of you two watching Baby Shark.
It's just, this is what it is. She gets up and leaves, and then I watch 2 more minutes of Baby Shark, then I get up and leave. And that's the commentary to Baby Shark. While Baby Shark continues to play in the room, because I haven't turned it off yet. Because if I do, she screams at me for turning it off.
Let's do a big double feature of Baby Shark and Who Did the Poopy.
That'd be a good idea. Great idea.
Great idea. Hire us. But that's everything I got, Troy.
All right, JT.
So I think it feels like it's at the top of the hour right now.
Let's look at the clock. Not at all.
Not
but you know what?
Even close.
In your world, listener, it very well could be.
Yeah. Just pause until it becomes the top of the hour, and it is. You make your own reality.
You live your own life. Now live it.
You are the master of your own universe.
The winner of my horror poll, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, dropped. Now, this is the 1978 version, mind you. December 22nd, 1978.
Wow. Almost near Christmas release.
Almost a Christmas release. Its budget of $3.5 million.
Pretty low.
But in 1978, it seems like a pretty decent-sized chunk of money to throw at a movie.
Yeah.
I guess. Its opening weekend made half of its domestic return.
Wow.
Well, no, that's not right. It made half of its budget back.
Gotcha.
In its first opening weekend.
People were hungry for those Body Snatchers.
At almost $1.3 million. And domestically, it raked in $24.9 million, making this a financial success Worldwide, it was not released.
Yeah.
So I have no info on that. But
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes does have this at 95% certified fresh.
Pretty high.
IMDb has it at 7.4 out of 10. Metacritic, 75%.
Wow.
Going around hand in hand in
All
there.
around.
And Movies or Minutes gives it 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Perfect score.
They just they just qualify movies by the fact that they are comprised of minutes.
And they are minutes long. Actually,
5 out of 5. This movie is made of minutes.
funny thing about, well, I don't know, interesting thing about that review site that I randomly chose out of nowhere is that it actually reviewed every single version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh.
Giving the original one, the 1953 one?
Yeah. I
or
saw
1956 one.
Yeah.
Like a 3 out of 5.
Really?
Then this one a perfect score.
Mm-hmm.
There was one made in the early 2000s.
Called Invasion. Or The Invasion, I think.
And that one had like Craig...
Yeah, Craig...
or Daniel
Craig and Nicole Kidman.
That one got like a 2.5 out of 5.
That one's...
And then there was actually one made in the 90s called like Body Snatchers, I think, or just... I can't remember what it is. But that one's the worst
Snatch
one.
with
yeah, Brad
Pitt in it?
That one is the worst one by far, so avoid that one at all costs.
Gotcha.
This, of course, is a remake of the 1956 movie of the same name, which is based off a novel by Jack Finney, also of the same name.
Yep.
Funny thing is, this is rated PG because PG-13 has not been invented yet.
And it's weird because there are definitely boobies in this.
It is also weird why it is not rated R.
Yeah, there are boobies, and there is a man gets his face caved in with a garden hoe.
And it is a very just disturbing movie overall.
Yeah.
And it's still rated PG.
Yeah.
This
is rated the same as, like...
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Cinderella. Any Disney classic, it's rated the exact same. It's in...
Get the kids, hon. We're going to go see Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
We're going to see that new Don Sutherland flick.
Yeah. Kids will love it.
So I love pointing it out before PG-13 was invented, what movies ended up being just PG, because it's like that hard jump between PG and R.
Let's ruin our kids' trust in people by showing them Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I would argue, though, that I watched a good chunk of this movie with Macy in the room.
Yeah.
And I don't think it made any difference because she doesn't really understand what's going on up into a point where we'll get into it later. And let's see if both you and me can agree on what point that is.
Okay.
Everything I got is just more like fun stuff. So why don't you tell me what happened in Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Well, we follow Donald Sutherland. Can't remember his character's name, but he works for the health department.
The most influential government organization in San Francisco.
He gets to a point where he's like, "We got to get I'm going to get the president."
Yeah, I have his personal number. I mean, he doesn't, but like,
he might as well have. He's like, "I know someone in the Justice Department." He's just, all this shit. Like, he's like, "Do you just secretly run the country, Donald Sutherland?" But he works for the health department where I guess his main job is pulling rat turds out of stew. And
that's a caper. That's a rat turd.
Yeah, it's a rat turd. It's even better later when he's like, "Hey, look at this. It's a rat turd." With like his coworker, like his female coworker's like, "Hey, look at this. What's that?" "It's a rat turd." And then someone hands him a rat, like he's going to just wait for the... Like, was he going to wait for the rat to shit to compare the rat turds?
I don't know.
We'll dive more into
We'll
this.
Get into
but Donald Sutherland, he works for the health department. I'm still stuck on this. Still stuck on him working for the health department. And things start to go a little crazy when his female coworker thinks that her husband might not be her husband anymore, which leads to a series of events where there may very well be quote-unquote pod people that are replacing the human race and taking over the world.
That's right. Interesting premise.
Yeah.
To the movie.
Yeah.
It's I actually really liked the opening to this movie where it's all just like kind of cephalopod looking stuff.
Yeah, space suds are coming off of a planet. And...
yeah. It's just like they just took like what looks like under a microscope and like they're otherworldly entities and they just jump off into space and they land in San Francisco.
Yeah. They like go through a rain cloud and then like they look like weird space cum like going like floating down streams and then like attaching
look like weird space cum. I'll give you that.
and then just attaching themselves to leaves and looking like big green veggie balls hanging off of freaking.
That's right. That have beautiful blooms.
Yes.
That have people's interests piqued.
Yeah.
At what these are.
Yeah.
And people are taking them home, unbeknownst to them.
Yeah.
Having them
This
being
is pretty.
alien parasites.
Yeah.
But I really like the general aspect of that film being like it's not just some weird supernatural occurrence. It's like, yeah, these other alien creatures that aren't people looking. They're just inhabit anything that they can to overtake a population like a virus.
Yeah.
Until they consume everything and jump off to another planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a cool ass idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen it really done, not to my knowledge anyway, as well as the way they did it in this version of this movie.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh man, like, because you see alien invasions all the time where it's like saucer people come down, they look exactly like humans.
Yeah.
And no, these are just like, they kind of look like jellyfish or amoebas or cum. And they rain down and just inhabit plant life because it's like abundant.
Yeah.
And then they invade the most dominant like species on the planet, overtake them all, live there for a while till it's all kaput.
Yep.
And they're off to the next.
Sucks. Let's go to the next one.
Let's go somewhere else. I love it.
Yeah.
With that, I like to say that Donald Sutherland in this movie is a champ. I've never seen him with a fro before.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Donald Sutherland play someone younger.
I've never seen Donald Sutherland not 800 years old.
Yeah.
And he is in this. He looks like he's maybe 35 in this movie. I have no idea. 40 tops.
Yeah, 40 tops.
But he's got the curly, froey hair.
Oh my god.
Looks like a dreamboat.
He just got a perm done, it looks like.
But he actually performed all his own stunts in this movie because he's spry in 1978.
Yep.
So spry, in fact, that he performed all of his own stunts and got accidentally hit by a VW bug in this movie while performing his own stunts. That was not to happen, though. Like, it was one of those things where a VW bug was just on set and hit him.
Am I supposed to get hit by this? No. I got hit by
it. Also, Leonard Nimoy is in this movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him in much of anything but Star Trek.
I know.
So it was really refreshing to see him not be Spock.
Yeah.
But
in a way, though, he acts like Spock.
Well, yes, he does. Very analytical, very matter of fact.
Yeah.
But you know what was super distracting? That fucking weird half leather glove that he wears.
What the fuck is that?
I looked it up because I'm like, what the fuck is up with that?
One of his fingers or something?
So it's an intentional choice made by Leonard Nimoy because said one of his friends used to wear one to cover a burn on his hand.
Yeah.
And it just was a character choice by Leonard Nimoy that he wanted to wear one. But the whole time I'm like, what the fuck is up with that thing?
I was like, what is he?
Does he got carpal tunnel or something?
I was like, is he an archer? Is he like
archery? In his fucking tweed jacket and turtleneck?
Oh god.
But that whole time he's wearing that thing, I'm like, something's up with that fucking glove.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Chekhov's glove. Something's
That's
up
gonna
with it.
that's coming to play somewhere.
That's fucking it was definitely an eye-catching thing because it
Yeah.
made me question what is going on in that hand. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened with
I
that
know.
goddamn thing.
Yeah. Because they do reveal like he is one of them, but is it covering something that like reveals that he's one of the pod people? But nope,
Nah,
just
wears it.
just wants to wear it.
Also, another distracting thing in this movie happened right very in the beginning, like in 5-10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall is in this movie as a priest on a swing set.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
never. Yeah.
Nothing!
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so distracting
Yeah.
to me.
I'm gonna say this movie is so weird before it needs to be weird.
Yes.
Like I think that's the thing that, not to like do opinion spoilers, but like, I think that's one of the things that took me out of it was I was like, I kind of want like a semblance of normality before you start going crazy, and it's crazy before you even start getting into the craziness.
So I guess I wouldn't be so like disgruntled by it. That's too strong a word, but I'm gonna use it anyway.
Yeah.
Disgruntled by it if it was played by anybody else, any like no name actor, right?
Yeah.
Having Robert Duvall play a priest in a full on priest garb, like not just like shirt and pants,
Swinging.
like
In a
not
swing set.
on a swing set with around children.
Around children.
No other ministry nearby,
Yeah.
but he's got like the priest like dress on a swing set,
Yeah.
and it's very much Robert Duvall, and
Yeah.
he's like giving people kind of crazy eyes. I'm like, what's going on here? And then nothing happens with that. He's never seen again in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kind of threw me for a loop. Granted, I did forget about this because it took me like 3 days to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Mostly because of my illness
Yeah.
and such. But I found it very much distracting in the first opening minutes that like this is very odd that he is playing this character. I didn't so much mind that it gave me a general sense of unease because I was like, well, it's kind of like a horror movie. I don't mind that so much.
Yeah.
But for nothing to come of it, I'm just like, that was weird.
Yeah.
So I looked up into it, right?
Okay.
And he just happened to be in San Francisco during filming and knew the director. And so they just gave him a part to play for a day. And he did it for free. So that's the only reason he's in this movie, because he wanted to be for nothing.
I wanted to be swinging priest.
And so I was like, that seems different to me. But moving on, generally that is distracting, but like I'll move on. The composer for this movie, Danny Zeitlin.
Yeah.
Zeitlin. This is the only movie he's ever done.
Oh shit.
Up to and since this movie's release.
Yeah.
But he was a pretty well-known jazz composer. And pianist.
Yeah.
But it's odd that, like, I found it as, like, a choice for this movie. Not to jump to the very, very end, but, like, the credits have no music.
Yeah, that's right.
And it wasn't because that's, like, a choice. It's because, like, nothing was composed for them. So they just let it be silent. But I'm like, oh, that's, like, an interesting choice. And maybe it was, and I read it wrong. But, like, I read it as... the credits were silent because no music was composed for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that seems strange, but
yeah,
I think it worked.
Yeah,
regardless.
I know, because I kind of took it as like this is because like they don't listen to music, like the pod people don't. Like this is like just like the sign that they've completely taken over.
I took that as well as like it lends to its ending.
Yeah. Like, they've completely taken over, so music doesn't exist, so that way they're not playing music at the end.
Mm-hmm. With the ending, not to jump to it, but, like, this ending is different than the 1956 version.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just jump to it, so I'll circle back to this when we get to it. But, yeah, so why don't we just jump into the movie?
Yeah.
A little bit. The plot gets... So, like, maybe it's because I watched it in chunks over, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
But I felt like once they got to the actual pod people and showing that they are duplicating people,
Yeah.
there's a lot left of the movie. And I thought that maybe that was going to be a reveal like in the third act.
Yeah.
And it was maybe fairly early on in the movie.
Yeah.
What did you watch this at a crack, like one way all the way through?
No. It actually, this is like one of the only movies we've done where literally it took me like 3 or 4 days to get through the first half hour of this because I kept falling asleep.
I was watching it when I had time to watch it, and it was either after the kids went to bed or if I had the energy to watch it when I was sick or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't that I didn't like the movie. I could easily just stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the point that it was kind of low key.
Yeah.
Where I didn't need to feel like I need to keep watching this.
Yeah.
But up to a point, though, because then at the point where I finished it yesterday, I was like, I felt like a good chunk of the movie left. I was like, I should watch this all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like pretty much halfway through the movie on.
Yeah.
But like, I would probably say the first 2 days, the first maybe 45 minutes, I had to break that up a few times.
Yeah.
Like starting and stopping here or there. But yeah, over 2 days, it took me like the first 2 days to watch 45 minutes of the movie.
Like it feels like literally nothing happens in the first 45 minutes.
I know,
this.
right? And maybe that's just like because it was made in the 70s.
Maybe.
And so it was like a slower paced movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I had that exact same feeling.
But yeah, like, cause I've seen the 1956 one because we watched it for my film class when I was going to community college. And like, from what I can remember of it, I think that's even slower, but I don't know. I think I like the 1956 one better than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like they kind of dabble in a little bit in this, but they really focus on the idea of like this man and this woman like were friends for the longest time, and then in the chaos of this, they realize that they loved each other all along, and now they're getting this point where it's like they're trying to be convinced to become these pod people with no emotions, and they really hammer home it's like, well, shit, even if they're telling the truth and we're just they're going to put our consciousness in these bodies that don't feel anything, we're going to like literally lose the one thing we just discovered about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to go right back to what we were. Like we're not going to be able to like capitalize on this thing that we realized about each other, which I thought was interesting. And they kind of do it in this, but it's like such an afterthought. Which I don't know. I was kind of bummed about that.
Mm.
But I think that's like the cool way to tell this story, where it's like, give us like some stakes, because we're just kind of watching people do weird shit.
Yeah.
It's like I want to like feel something at the end of this. Where like I want them to get out of this, and it just kind of feels like it's just people being like, "What's that?" and running away, like taking some time to just show like, yeah, they want to survive because this is like a big thing. Even if they are going to be alive in some way, it's not going to be the same because they discovered this thing about themselves.
Mm. They also tack on like 35 minutes to the original one too.
Yeah.
The 56 version is only 80 minutes long.
Yeah.
This one's 115. Not
Yeah.
that that's like super long compared to like movies nowadays.
Yeah.
But like they do meander a bit in the beginning of this, really pushing that health department stuff.
Jesus Christ. I know. I don't know. It's just so weird. And it's like they do like,
but I guess I didn't necessarily mind the slow burn of it.
yeah.
Because you don't really know what's going on. And I feel like if maybe they took out the whole opening and they just started on Earth and had like these strange flowers growing.
Yeah.
And they eventually double back and have a reveal later.
Yeah.
That maybe that slow burn would be more mysterious.
Yeah.
And that didn't hold your hand as much. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Be more of like a mystery, suspense.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping too, because it's like, yeah, as slow as the beginning of this is, they do some weird leaps in logic to get the plot going.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the main woman in this, just out of nowhere, after her husband's been acting weird for a day, has already jumped to the conclusion that his body's been replaced with something else after a day, where it's like, how the fuck did you come to that?
Yeah.
You have to really, really do some self-discovery to be like, oh, he's been replaced by an alien.
Yeah.
And nothing else that you've seen gives you even the hint that aliens exist.
Yeah. Elizabeth Driscoll is the guy's name.
The few interactions she has with her husband on one day, she's already come to the conclusion that he's an alien. Like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like, they spend so long not doing anything for her to just out of the blue be like, he's somebody else. He's been replaced with something. I'm like, what? Wait, how did we get to this?
Yeah, you know what I also was thinking too, that this movie, the way I guess this movie was portrayed, that everyone treats this lady and another lady she meets later at like a club as like crazy, and like the men are mansplaining how she just needs to get a good night's rest and she's fine.
Yeah.
When obviously she is right. Like, something is wrong with her husband, and that lady, something is wrong with her husband. But she goes and meets friggin' Leonard Nimoy, a psychiatrist, to like talk her down. Be like, nothing's wrong, dear. All you need is a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tuck my weird leather gloved hand into my tweed jacket.
Is Leonard Nimoy like God in this world? Because it's like every time there's a problem, they're like, call him.
Yeah, I know.
He's just a psychiatrist.
I know.
Even when they discover a weird veggie body in like fucking mud baths.
Yeah. Call the police. No.
Nope, don't call them. Call Leonard Nimoy. Like, what is he going to do to help you?
Yeah. But so he's not already like a pod person, is he? Because he gets replaced like shortly after that first meeting of him. Is that what you took out of this?
I don't know, because from the very beginning he's always like so skeptical of like what they're saying.
Yeah, very dismissive of
the
stuff.
and really dismissive. So I'm wondering if he was all along. I'm not sure.
I took it because like the whole time in the background, which I thought was very well done.
Or I think he did. Yeah, I think he did get replaced because he does that whole thing where like to prove a point, he grabs Jeff Goldblum and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I don't think a pod person would do that.
Yeah, I almost kind of want to argue that point after I bring up something I was already on the right track for. But like, I like in the background of this movie that you keep seeing like all like the debris of these pod people getting thrown away. Yeah. Like all those cobwebs and stuff are always getting crushed in dumpsters and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing I like the most about this movie is the shit they do in the background. Because in every scene there's people just like living their everyday normal lives, but these dumpsters are full of like
these cobwebby
these cobwebs and shit. And then like as the movie goes on more and more, like you can kind of notice people in the background are just like following Donald Sutherland and the other chick like constantly. Like, you don't really notice it until you actually do like look in the background, and they're just like not even like talking to each other, just like constantly like watching them and following them with their eyes and stuff. Or it's like, that's creepy as shit.
Yeah. And so a distinguishing feature of the pod people is that they show like no emotion. Yeah. Right? They're just there to live. Yeah. Essentially. So what I found odd though is like if Leonard Nimoy's character got switched out fairly early on, like if he's not supposed to show emotion as being a pod person would be, he does do it throughout the movie, and maybe he's just putting on a face and acting like like trying to fool the human race.
Is he really showing emotion after he meets back up with them?
Well, he like there's that scene when they're all in the apartment, right? Yeah. It's like right before Donald Sutherland falls asleep outside. Yeah. Right? And he's there and he leaves and then meets up with other pod people. Yeah. But he's like understanding of everybody in the room. Yeah. I guess I took that as like showing like emotion. But like maybe that can be construed as like just trying to save face and get out of there. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Cause I feel like the way that they show emotion is like, I mean, I think you can lie about being emotional, but I think when it comes down to where you're like, or like, oh, or whatever, like it's like shit like that. Yeah. that like really shows that you have emotion, and he never really I think he is himself when they first see him, because he has that weird scene where he just grabs Jeff Goldblum for no reason and yells at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think a pot person can do that, but I think after that is where he's just, because everything he does is like, well, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's just like shit like that.
Yeah. So watching this with my daughter, right?
Yeah.
What would be the point where you would say that I shouldn't let her watch it anymore is?
I think when Donald Sutherland caves his own face in with a garden hose, pretty out there.
Okay. That's a good point. I was going to go a little bit earlier than that. And when they were in that like weird spa and they do meet Jeff Goldblum's duplicate for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like that green,
is pretty, yeah,
weird feathery thing on the table.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, I did stop the movie after that and wait until like the next day. But that's like kind of a point there where I was like, now I'm kind of on board and something's actually happening.
Yeah.
Because before then, it's just like, where are we? When's something going to happen here?
Yeah.
I know weird things are happening, but nothing out of the ordinary has really yet.
Yeah.
It's just like weird, maybe circumstantial stuff, like he said, she said, oddities going on.
Mm-hmm. So do you think they are telling the truth that people, like, their conscious are going into these bodies? Because they do like some weird empathetic shit with, especially with Jeff Goldblum's, where like he sees his clone and like when he's like falling asleep, his clone opens his eyes, and then when he wakes up, then he closes his eyes, and then when he goes to see him, then the clone has a bloody nose when he has a bloody nose. Mm-hmm. So it's like, do you think they are actually possessing these bodies that they're growing in the pods?
I was gonna also ask you how you think the science worked of this.
Yeah.
Doing so will just break the movie open, and I don't really want to like do that so much. But I think so. Yeah. I don't know if it's just like a full on they're trying to mimic whatever, because I was also like questioning at first why you see like everyone get like super chapped and like dry skin and stuff when they're getting duplicated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on here? Because you see it happen to Elizabeth early before you realize that she's got like a duplicate. Or no, Jeff Goldblum, even in that spa scene.
Yeah.
Like before you even realize his duplicate's like on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah.
Like you see his lips are like super chapped and his skin's all weird. I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck's
he keeps
going
talking about
on
how
here?
he has a dry throat and he needs a glass of water and shit.
I was like, oh, but I think that's like a strength of the movie, that it doesn't just like give you everything on a platter, and it's it has to explain stuff to you. And I like that you put it together and like you finally get the answer at the end when somebody fully just like disintegrates in front of somebody.
Oh,
You're like, holy shit, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then it turns into this cobweb shit that you've been seeing the whole movie, like just packed full of, like, these dumpsters are packed full of this cobweb shit.
Yeah. But
and it's like, it's cool at the beginning where when like her husband gets possessed and like she wakes up and he's like cleaning up like the broken glass that the flower was in to like show like he grew out of that, and then like he like quickly like rushes out this garbage bag, and then you see him like dumping that cobweb shit into like a garbage truck outside.
Right. I like that whole. Like, you don't really get to know the husband at all. He kind of seems like a douchebag. But...
Yeah, I know. Which, like, it was like, if you guys were, like, really happy and shit at the beginning, I'd be like, yeah, now that he's being really distant, it is kind of out of nowhere. But even, like, at the beginning when he's himself, they don't really seem to have the most healthy of relationships. So then when he is cold to her, and then out of nowhere, she's like, he's a different person, someone possessed him or whatever, it's like...
How can you tell? But maybe that works in the favor, because everyone's kind of like, nah, he's always kind of like that.
Yeah, he's always been kind of a dick. Like, I don't really see what the hell the difference is. Yeah,
has he got a fucking huge hog, or what's going on here? I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Like, that's like the one thing that rubbed me the wrong way, where it's like he doesn't even have like evidence that aliens exist, and she's already saying it's an alien just by a few interactions she had with her husband.
what made me laugh is like he's just watching sports with the headphones on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, you're the only one in the house.
Yeah.
Why do you need headphones on? It makes
He loves those headphones.
He even makes you more of a dick that, like, anybody could come to the house and you wouldn't hear them because you can't be interrupted by watching your sports.
Yeah.
What a dick. What a dick. But he's in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
But he's probably got like 3 lines of dialogue at most.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, pretty funny. Couldn't understand like if he was actual more or less of a dick as a pod person. Probably mellowed him out a little bit.
Yeah. He's way cooler as a pod person.
For sure. So the movie progresses from the spa.
Yeah, that spa's so weird.
Yeah, let's talk about the spa for a minute.
It's like a weird mud bathhouse. Like,
and so, like certain people go. I wasn't a huge fan that I saw a fat guy's balls.
Oh yeah, you do see a fat guy's balls. They get like right. Yeah, they like make sure they zoom in like right underneath his thighs so you can see his big muddy balls. Like as he's coming out of that mud bath.
It's like the guy goes there all the time apparently and gets out of the mud bath and they still just show one angle of him standing up. I'm like, don't show his dick. Not that I'm against like male nudity or anything, but like he gets out.
Yeah.
They
avoided the dick.
They avoided the dick
but
for
they
sure.
Got they got on those big muddy balls.
You see the balls from the worst angle from the backside.
Yeah.
Like you see his muddy ass and balls. He's stepping out of this thing before
Hashtag big muddy balls. Make sure you make that a thing.
BMB. Hashtag BMB.
Big muddy balls.
And you see his BMBs before he gets wrapped in a towel and sent off to the showers.
Rocking a hard set of BMBs as he's coming out of that mud bath.
What kind of person would want to go to this place? Why would Jeff go? I question why Jeff Goldblum
owns the fucking place.
I wondered why he wanted to go there until I found out that he owned it with his wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on here? It's like, oh, I guess you own it or whatever. That's an odd thing to own.
Even before this, when they're going to to Leonard Nimoy's book signing, and when they first introduced Jeff Goldblum, all he does is complain about how much he hates Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
So much.
I really like Jeff Goldblum in this.
Yeah. I even love it. Like, so they, on the way there, someone gets hit by a car. So Donald Sutherland gets on the phone to like call the police. And he's like, fucking, when Jeff Goldblum takes the phone from him, he says, "What's the problem here?"
Jeff Goldblum is such a dick to anybody who wants to be on the phone.
He hates the phone.
It's like he doesn't know how a phone works. Like Donald Sutherland is literally on the phone with the police to try to get some help.
Trying to help someone that's been hit by a car who might be dead. And Jeff Goldblum's like, "What's this?"
He's trying to like talk to Donald Sutherland, which is like, it was giving me like anxiety.
I know.
Like, shut the fuck up. That's like my one huge pet peeve of like somebody trying to talk to me while I'm on the phone. They can visibly see I'm on the phone.
I think like 75% of Jeff Goldblum's lines in this is talking over someone else.
Yeah.
He cannot wait his turn to talk.
Or slamming something down. He's either slamming a book on the ground or slapping a table. He's just...
Why is he so angry?
He just fucking had enough of it.
I think he just needs to be a pod person.
He had to mellow the fuck out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's got a nosebleed. He's just so worked up over something. And when did he start having a nosebleed? I felt like that came out of nowhere.
I think it was when he started turning or whatever.
Okay.
Because he woke up with a nosebleed.
Okay. Because I just remember him coming into that spa, and then he had like a plug up his nose. I'm like, what's with the plug? Maybe it's a nosebleed? And then it ended up being a nosebleed. I didn't remember when he got a nosebleed.
I don't know. I remember either.
It's movie secrets.
Maybe he got so pissed that he, instead of just slamming a table, he just headbutted a table.
Very good.
But, yeah. That, and to go back to like how much these people invest in what Leonard Nimoy has to say all the time.
Yeah.
They even get down to a point where they bring Leonard Nimoy in, and it's literally the whole discussion is 4 people who have seen the same crazy shit.
Yeah.
And Leonard Nimoy being like, "But are you sure you saw it?" And then being like, "Yeah, did we?" Or it's like, you all 4. It's 4 on 1. You 4 people saw the same crazy shit. Don't let this one man convince you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because you all saw the same thing. Mm-hmm. What is so great about Leonard Nimoy that he is convincing you that you are all crazy when you all saw the same fucking thing?
Yeah. Insane. I don't know.
I think that's that's what this one tries to do, is it tries to like satire like modern psychiatry, where it's like it can literally convince you of something that you did.
Yeah,
and that didn't happen
at all.
Didn't happen at all. Everything he does is like, yeah, but could this be from your parents? Like, yeah, me seeing a fucking pod person is because my mom didn't hug me enough. You fucking idiot. Like,
also, fuck your love.
Fuck your love. But so much, like, Leonard Nimoy is my favorite character in this because everything he does just sounds like hackney psychiatry bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, he was pissing me off at certain points. I was like, motherfucker, it's happening. Stop telling me I'm fucking crazy. There's 3 other people that are vouching for me, and you're still calling me crazy. Shove your fucking psychiatry up your ass.
Up your fucking pothole.
With your dumb half glove.
Oh my god. Well, I would say the only other memorable part from like then on is like when they fall asleep, when Donald Sutherland falls asleep outside.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember anything that happens from there to then.
Yeah.
So it's when
like they're all taking refuge in Donald Sutherland's apartment, and he always, for some reason, he always has to sleep outside.
I have no
He's
fucking
constantly
idea.
doing shit outside. Even when he has that chick over to like eat dinner, he's like, "Let's go outside."
He loves the outdoors, man.
Beautiful day. Let's go outside. He just has like this picnic table.
Falls outside on his little fucking I don't know, Adirondack chair or whatever it is. And these little wispy little tendrils come and like start like, this is the first time you really see the pods at work. And I'm like, oh shit, this is really kind of creepy now.
Yeah. And they're giving plant birth. Outside.
And like you see like a full on birth of like a weird kind of like a baby version of them. And they like slowly grow into the adult version fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. When, what's the Jeff Goldblum's wife's name? Nancy or something?
Yeah, I think it's Nancy.
She comes out and like startles him awake, and he sees like this
that there or whatever.
The yard full of pod people half grown,
Yeah.
and he fucking hoes that one in the face, and his face bursts like a fucking pumpkin.
Yeah, it's so gross.
And I'm like, this is rated PG.
Yeah, I was freaking out here. I was like, PG? You're watching a man's head implode. PG.
It is like a melon cracking and just gore coming out of it. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that is intense looking stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, to the point where I have a quote from Stephen King that he said that disturbed him so much in this movie, and he doesn't know how it wasn't rated R.
No
Stephen King said that. Yeah. He's like, when that guy got raked in the face, that disturbed me very much so.
It is so gross. Like, you can almost, like, see, like, his lower mandible still attached to the head as he's still hacking at this freaking thing's head.
And then he just, like, fucking starts bolting out of there. And then, so the whole gang is out of there. It's Elizabeth, Donald Sutherland,
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum and Nancy.
Yeah.
I've got all the names mixed up with the real names. But it doesn't matter. They're all on the run now. And from there on, it's pretty much like a cool chase to try to escape all these pod people. And they come across a bunch of alien stuff that's now in their world that they're like, how did we not see this before?
Yeah.
But I find like from there on, it's like pretty suspenseful.
Yeah.
To see them try to get out of there.
Yeah.
And eventually they like break apart. Jeff Goldblum runs in a certain direction to get like, fucking the heat off Donald Sutherland and Elizabeth.
Yeah. And I think they just wanted to leave, so it was like, we want you to become a pod person because you're a real dick.
You're fucking a lot to handle.
You're a lot, dude.
But his wife ends up running after him.
Yeah.
And so that leaves just Elizabeth and Donald Sutherland's character together, and they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
And
this is close to where they see homeless dog man.
So they eventually kind of figure out either, I can't remember if Nancy tells them or they kind of figure out by themselves, if they kind of play it cool, they can kind of blend in.
Yeah. Or, I think Jeff Goldblum's wife tells them that.
Oh yeah, you can't show emotion, so if you just kind of like play it cool,
Yeah.
you'll be able to blend in with all these people. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And because she comes back without him.
Yeah.
And then so they're kind of playing it cool. They end up getting in the line to like get their own special pods or whatever.
Yeah.
And then fucking out of their
homeless dog man.
Homeless fucking dog man. Do you ever see the Korn version of Word Up music video where they all have dog faces? That's what it looks like. And fucking Elizabeth loses her mind like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, they do like an allude to it where like, so like throughout the whole movie, they constantly go back to this homeless guy and his dog, like quite a bit, where I'm like, is this gonna go anywhere? And then they get to a point where like Donald Sutherland's like running by himself, and he sees the homeless guy and his dog passed out by a pod, and he like looks at him and then trips over the pod, and then the pod like starts bleeding a little bit, and then when it comes back, then like the dog and the man like kind of combine and become a homeless dog man.
Is that the same guy who plays the banjo?
Yeah.
Do you know that's Jerry Garcia?
It is? Yeah. So Jerry Garcia's homeless dog man?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, huh?
That's pretty sweet. Really good job of being homeless dog man, Jerry Garcia.
Good job being a dog man.
Yeah. But I think that's my favorite part in the movie. It's just out of nowhere, they just have homeless dog man.
I like that too. I thought it was super cool. Also to a point where the driver of that taxi that is going to take him to the airport.
Yeah.
That's the original director of the 56 version.
Oh, really?
And I was reading an IMDb trivia, so I don't know how really true it is, but he was like losing his eyesight, but he was actually driving the car. Oh my God. And the general fear on Sutherland and Elizabeth's faces is real because he's like losing his vision and driving a car.
It's like Tommy swerving through traffic. Jesus Christ.
But that was that whole car scene too was really give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets like his radio,
it does like a code H.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is code H?
I figured it was like, are you legit saying code human? Your way of saying I have humans in the back. Make sure you set up a checkpoint so you can get their ass.
Yeah.
He's actually legit saying code H.
Code human. I have humans in the back.
There's humans in the back.
Going to the airport. All right, folks, we're going. Here we go.
Take me to the airport.
Ignore everything I just said and we heard.
Yeah. I love, there's like another scene that I kind of like is when like Donald Sutherland's like kind of going through all of like the political jargon to try and get through that we're being replaced by pod people. And like you can see like the general like takeover of all the infrastructure of America through like his phone calls, where it starts out with him being like, yeah, we're getting word that there's some strange things happening. We'll definitely keep in touch. To by the end, it's just like, you know what? Just forget about it, man. I think we got this under control. And then even down to where like in the very beginning, like his laundry service guy is just like, my wife's acting really fucking crazy, man. You got to do something. And then he's like, all worked out. We're cool now. And they're all just staring at him, where like you can see like the like general like whole like slow takeover of everything around him.
I like that too. Even later on in the movie where he's back in his office and he's calling people, and I had to look up his name. His name's Matthew Bonnell. Yeah, and he's like talking to somebody and they're like, it's fine, Mr. Bonnell. He's like, I didn't tell you my name. And he keeps hanging up and getting calls and he's like, I didn't tell you my name. How do you know my name? I'm like, oh shit, this thing has gone worldwide already or whatever.
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It gives you it's like a really sets like a really high bar for tension.
Yeah.
That you don't know who all is turned yet and like who you can trust. I kind of like that in this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, like especially like I said in the beginning, like a lot of the background stuff is really good. Like you don't really notice it if you're just watching like the people in the foreground talking, but then like if you let your eye wander and like see in the back, it's like, oh, these people aren't doing anything. They're just watching them talk.
Yeah.
And it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Even to the point where later on in the movie where people find out that there's humans around and they just point at them and squeal like a pig.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit. Like that's fucked up. Like it really gives you like a sense of unease then that you can't even like kind of walk around in public without being spotted. Because if you show any feign of human existence, it's just like,
yeah.
Like, ooh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Like, cause I've seen the 1956 and I've also saw like the 2001 just called The Invasion. The Invasion's really weird because they don't even do pod people. They just like puke in your face.
Ugh.
Yeah. It is like, but they do like some cool concepts in that too, where it's like, there's like a part where like they're trying to weed out the people that are still humans. So they'll have people walk up to like the top of a building and jump off. And then the people be like, Jesus Christ! And then everyone just like grab their face and puke in it real fast. And like, Jesus Christ!
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah.
But then, so anyway, by the point in this movie now, we got Donald Sutherland and Mary. We got Bennell and Mary.
Yeah.
Or no, Elizabeth. Sorry,
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth. Kind of all sequestered off, and Elizabeth like hurts her ankle because of course she's running in heels.
Oh Jesus, yeah. At least they address like every time. There's so many like even Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Where like Bryce Dallas Howard has fucking heels on the whole goddamn time.
I know. But they hear music coming from a ship, and they're like, "Of course, ships.
Yeah.
Ships won't have any plants on them."
Yeah.
Or whatever. Not that I think that even matters.
Yeah.
But they end up like loading a bunch of pods onto the ship as he's running to it.
Yeah.
And then the music stops.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit. Like it's everywhere. There's no fucking escape for you, man. Goes back to Elizabeth and freaking she's like all chapped up and like withers away in his hand.
Yeah.
And then she stands up in the weeds as like a pod person and squeals to go get him.
Yep.
And this is when like fucking fully nude new pod person or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was also reshot for TV, by the way, with fully clothed. Like
Really?
any like scene with her like running nude through the movie is also reshot with her clothed through the movie.
In a PG movie.
In a PG movie, of course, for kids.
Fully nude woman. not even minding the B&Bs at one time. But now
Right.
now we have a fully nude woman running
right.
around.
That's right. But there you have it. There you have it. And so Donald Sutherland is now like alone, trying to escape like all these pod people, and he comes across like a big factory of them.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of already there with Elizabeth anyway.
Yeah, they're like growing it in like a airplane hangar or some shit.
It's like a big like hydroponics pod farm pretty much. And so he just goes there and wrecks the whole shit up.
Yep.
And then fucking escapes. And then it does like a bit of a jump in time.
Yeah, like someone like points a flashlight at him, and then they do a jump in time where he's kind of like wandering around and you don't really know, like, did he get captured? Like, is he just now just playing up like the whole like blend in and act like one of them?
Yeah.
Until like Jeff Goldblum's wife comes back, she's like, "You made it," and then he just goes and, like points at her and shit.
So that GIF ruined the end of the movie for me. Because I got sent to me many times over this last week.
Yep.
Because I was kind of waiting for that movie or that thing to happen.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, it's going to happen right here. He's a pod person.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
Anyway, but I find it kind of cool that like she made it this whole time.
Yep.
To the very end, and then got called out by somebody he thought also maybe made it and just kind of blending in with everybody else.
Yeah.
Which in the 56 version, I guess, is different because it's more of a happy ending.
Yeah.
Than this kind of downer ending. So in the 56 version, how does it end?
I think that I can't even remember because it's been so long since I've seen it. But I just remember that they make it a really big part that like the main characters, like as this is all going on, they like fall in love with each other, And like the big sticking point about them making sure they don't become pod people is that like there's no way that we can love each other because we can't even feel feelings if we do become pod people.
Right. And so, is it more of less like they give you like a wink and a nod that like, hey, I'm not a pod person at the end?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Cool. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And then you get silence for the credits, and that's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
There you go.
I feel like it. I think maybe was longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And even by that standard, it's only 115 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's just under 2 hours. It's not that long at all. Yeah. But I did feel like maybe the slow pacedness that I'm not used to in today's movies paid off for it so much in places. I like kind of the slow burn here or there. But as I said, like, I don't remember what happened from the spa to where they get to Donald Sutherland's apartment.
Yeah.
I have no recollection what happened in that point in time.
I don't think much happens because I think they just go to his apartment because Leonard Nimoy's with him and he also comes with them to their apartment.
Okay.
To his apartment.
Okay.
Where he's just like... He's like lounging in the weirdest way on freaking Donald Sutherland's couch. Like he's got like a leg up and shit. It was like, okay, explain it from the beginning. And he's just like, he's like all just like wayward about it. Like, okay, what happened?
So what would you grade this movie? You think?
I don't know. Like, I think like a movie like this, I feel like is almost obsolete with like zombie films like nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I think they make like this concept like more interesting. I know, like I remember like because I heard, well, they brought this up in the class when I took it, but like Invasion of the Body Snatchers was made as like kind of like an answer to like the Red Scare, like the communist scare where it's like
you can't trust anybody.
No, that, and then like how communism always operates under the idea that you're cold and calculating and you only take in the facts, whereas like there's more to humanity than just like following calculations and facts. And like if we become like a communist state, then like we're gonna become these people that don't think about like people's feelings. Like we're just gonna take things for what they are in terms of like scientific and all this shit. So like I like the concept of that, but I don't know, like I think I would have liked this movie more if it felt more normal in the beginning, but it's weird from the get-go when you get Robert Duvall Priest swinging with a bunch of kids and freaking Donald Sutherland going ham on rat turds. I was like, could you make this more normal in the beginning? Like, make it feel like a world that I live in?
Where I could like anybody?
Yeah. That's the thing, too. Like, I don't even think I really like Donald Sutherland that much in the beginning.
I didn't either.
He just seems weird. Like, he's, like, cutting papers apart and, like...
Yeah, he seems like a bit of a prick. You don't really get to like him until you realize, like, he's maybe in danger.
Yeah. And even then, you're just like, fuck him. Like, no one's, like, really that nice. Like, I think the only person I'm really kind of behind is Elizabeth. Like, she's like kind of the only person that I kind of like throughout. And everyone else is just kind of like, yeah, like you said, they're always like mansplaining to her and like telling her that she's crazy. And like, I don't know, I just really don't like anyone but her in this.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe I'll give it like a C+.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine for what it is, but I think from what I remember, the 56 one and even like the 2000 one, like that Invasion, I think I might have even liked those two more than this.
Okay.
So,
I've never seen either of those other ones, but I like the movie, I think, more than you, even though I kind of dogged on its slow pace and a few other things. But I'll probably give this a B.
Okay.
I liked that it didn't hold your hand and you got to find out things throughout the whole movie. Like, why is this like that? Why? I mean, except for that weird half leather glove. You never get find out that. Or any Robert Duvall Priest stuff. You never figure anything out. But like, all the other stuff, it kind of like you figure out as the movie goes on. It doesn't like hold your hand. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like that for an alien movie. It like is a totally different shift on like just your normal green aliens you'd see all the time. It's like weird other beings from another world. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I like this kind of got like a bleak ending.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this overall, even though it took me a bit of a stretch to get through it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, I love what they did with the background stuff. I think is the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of need like an interesting foreground too to be a movie that I want to watch.
Yeah.
I don't want to constantly be like, oh, shut the fuck up. I want to see what these people are doing in the background.
Yeah, I do think Donald Sutherland isn't really likable.
Yeah.
For a good 30 minutes of this movie, and even then, it's just like because he's not a pod person.
Yeah.
So you're kind of rooting for him.
Yeah.
Well, have you been into anything else this last week?
Me and Molly saw like a documentary on Netflix called Tell Me Who I Am. And it's like a really interesting story because it's about these two brothers that are twins, and one of them gets into like a really bad motorcycle accident. And when he comes out of it, the only thing that he knows is his brother's name. He doesn't even know his own name. So he doesn't remember anything about his past or anything. And as it goes on, like his brother is telling him, yeah, we had a happy childhood and our parents love us and all this stuff. And then as it goes on, like he starts finding out that like all that was kind of bullshit that he fed him.
Oh.
And like maybe his parents like abused him in like more ways than one. And yeah, so it's like fascinating where it's like these two brothers that both went through the same thing, but yet the history that the one brother gave the other one almost kind of gives them different mindsets, where like the brother after the accident, because the other brother was like telling him how he lived this happy childhood, he's always like standing up for his parents and shit. And where it's like, yeah, but if you know what your parents did to you, you would not be doing this. Because they finally get down to it where like at the very end, they finally meet face to face, and he's like, I'm going to tell you what our parents did to us. And it is fucked.
You said this is a documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It is so fucked what they do to their kids in this.
Oh, God.
And it's like, yeah.
I don't know if I can watch it.
But like,
I don't
but
know.
it's such an interesting like watch, because it's like you can see why both guys feel the way they do, where like the one brother feels lied to and betrayed, but the other one is like, dude, if I was given the chance to have a happier childhood, I would take it in a heartbeat. I'm trying to give you what I wanted. So it's like this never-ending like conflict between each other, where it's like he's constantly being like, I don't want to tell you what they did because I'm literally taking childhood from you that I've always wanted. Where it's like, man, it is so deep.
That's some heavy shit.
So, but it's good. It's really good. I liked it.
Okay.
I think it's called Tell Me Who I Am, but it's on Netflix. It's like find the documentary about two brothers.
Okay.
Like, and like they're twins too, so they look exactly alike and everything.
Okay.
So it's really cool. And I also watched the Rob Zombie film 3 from Hell. I don't think I'm into this anymore. I think I kind of want to go back and revisit it, but I think the reason why I like The Devil's Rejects is it does kind of test like human empathy, where it's like, can you literally watch these 3 people do some really bad, horrific shit, and then when it gets turned on them, can we torture them enough to where you feel any kind of empathy for them whatsoever? Because I meet a lot of people, like when they get done watching it, like there's so many different feelings across the board where people are like, yeah, I want him to escape, and there's other ones where it's like, I've just spent like a fucking hour watching torture innocent people, fuck them.
Yeah.
So I think it like The Devil's Rejects just for that is interesting in and of itself, but like in this, they don't even do anything like that. It's just them. This movie glorifies them just torturing innocent people for no reason, and you're just like, what the fuck? I just don't care about you anymore. Fuck them.
I'll probably skip that one.
Yeah, it's just... Rob Zombie's got some fucking issues, man. Because he is like really fucking romanticizing these scenes where they are just torturing and killing the shit out of these people that did absolutely nothing. Where it's like, you need some fucking help, dude.
God.
Like, what made you think that this is something people want to see?
Right.
Like, nothing about it is like, yeah, keep doing that.
Right on.
Like, ugh.
Oh boy.
I just didn't like it.
All right. Very good.
I'm out of this whole Rob Zombie, like, even like Halloween, where he's like trying to make Michael Myers like sympathetic, and you're just like,
he's a murderer.
I've seen people go through far more and not become a savage psychopathic killer.
Right.
What the fuck, man?
Don't know.
Rob Zombie is just, I think Rob Zombie did some bad shit one day, and he's trying to like justify it through his movies, where it's like, did you kill someone? Like, did you kill someone? Like trying to go on like these visions of self-discovery where it's like, I can still be likable, people can still like me even though I murdered people. Rob Zombie, look into him.
God, feds, look out.
Look, yeah.
There might be something.
There might be someone buried in his backyard or some shit.
Play some of his albums backwards. See what you get.
I killed someone.
Dracula.
Dracula. Living dead girl. Actually dead girl in my backyard. And that's all I've been into.
Okay. Chelsea put on, out of nowhere, Amazon's Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Featuring John Krasinski.
Yep.
I was kind of in and out of it the whole first season that she binged, but I would agree with her that I think it's a pretty decent show.
Okay.
She really liked it for being just kind of like a palate cleanser of a show we wanted to watch. I expected nothing of another Jack Ryan franchise thing coming on, but it takes itself really seriously. Mm-hmm. Not to its detriment, but like it's like the first episode and is pretty real, like brutal.
Really?
Like, so it deals a lot with like Middle East tensions and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's like this U.S. kind of hidden black site over, I think in Yemen, and they have people captive there and they don't like feed them and they're barefoot and shit.
Jesus.
And like a guy sneaks in there by wearing somebody else's face. Like a dead person's, like these Yemen people in like fucking pickup trucks just deliver some dead bodies to this U.S. facility.
Man.
And the U.S. pay him off. And one of them is like this guy with like wearing another guy's face to get inside to break somebody else out.
Yeah.
And he like digs into somebody else's guts to get a bomb out of them. And he pulls out their guts and all this shit. And I'm like,
Jesus.
Holy fuck. Like, this is
Jack Ryan?
And I think John Krasinski's really good in it. Like, he got in like fucking great shape in it.
Yep.
He's, if anything, he could be in a Marvel movie tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
But
well, that was like the whole thing where they were like talking about him being like Captain America.
If he's not Mr. Fantastic, people are just gonna riot.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
You can even get him and his wife to be Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. That would be fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going off topic, but I think Jack Ryan, if you're curious at all about it, because I know Amazon's shoving it down your throat, I think you're not going to be disappointed.
Oh, right on.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Also, I've beaten the story mode of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I've almost 100%ed it.
Really?
Yeah. All I have to do now is go through all of the boroughs in New York.
Yeah.
And do all the random crimes that spur up to like 100% it.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got to do.
So did you like the story of Spider-Man?
I did.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
It's really cool.
It's actually surprisingly short.
Yeah.
Because as little as I did get to play it,
yeah,
like I did play it a few hours here at a crack, but like I was actually surprised when I got to the end fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the game kind of keeps you busy, but it's not a super long game.
Yeah.
If I would say there's any downsides to it, like I don't necessarily like the Miles and Mary Jane stuff. We kind of just have to sneak around.
Yeah.
It's
There's like that one Miles mission where you have to sneak through that part after they like pretty much like level City Hall, I thought was pretty tense.
Yeah, I mean, some of it was fine. I don't mind a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, another one of these. Fuck. And also, I went on a tangent, I think, a few episodes ago about like how I hate how like just guards with sticks are harder to kill. I'm still on that train. Fuck them and like the big brute guys.
Fuck them and their big sticks.
But otherwise, I've gotten combat down a little bit more now. I can jump into like the middle of something and usually come out unscathed.
Yeah.
It's those sable people in fucking jetpacks that get me every time. Like when you just start swinging through the city and then all of a sudden you get sniped out of the air by one of those fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And then 4 of them come down on you and you're trying to jump into the air to punch any of them. And it's like...
And they all have sticks.
They all have fucking sticks and they're kicking your ass. But that's all I got to do now is just... I've gotten all side missions done. I beat Taskmaster. All that shit.
There you go.
I didn't like... do great on all of his missions.
Yeah.
And I have to go back and redo some of them to get more fucking tokens.
Yeah.
To like buy other suits and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to redo them. Like, I can't do them any better. That's the best you're going to get. One, the lowest one.
Take it or leave it, shot. Take it or leave it, Taskmaster.
But I beat your ass, so I don't know why I can't get all this other stuff.
I'm at least better than you.
So anyway, it was really good. Really good.
No, it's a like probably like one of the coolest Spider-Man stories.
Yeah. And they left things open for a sequel, which is good. Oh, I also forgot to mention that like Spider-Verse is going to have a sequel coming in 2022.
2022, yeah.
So that's going to be cool. But yeah, I am looking forward to playing another one. I finally got it down now that I've beaten it. I finally got the game down.
Go.
So it's good. It's good. I liked it a lot. So now I'll get going on to another superhero one. I'll play Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Finally get into that one.
There you go. That one's fun too.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll circle back to Red Dead and 100% that one. Because now all I gotta do is all the side stuff. But that's all. That's it.
Hey, all right.
Good deal.
All right. Well, next week, this week actually.
Yeah.
This Thursday, we're diving into Troy's big production of live action Disney.
Yep.
We're talking all the remakes.
Yep.
Starting with Aladdin.
That's right. Aladdin. First on the docket. I've already started.
Yeah.
My work on this first step.
Yes. Me and Molly already watched the animated one.
I also watched the animated one because
Yes.
it was just happened to be available.
I'm gonna have to bring up some of those lines when we talk about it. Like Molly was killing me on some of the shit she was saying. Like the first time they introduced Jafar, the Sultan's like, huh! And I didn't think she was like, why would someone you're scared of be your most trusted advisor?
Jafar, my most trusted advisor. You're just so startling to look at.
And I also found out that I do the guy that tries to marry Jasmine in the beginning, I do his voice perfect. It's like, get out of the streets, you filthy brats!
Oh, very good. I'm going to have fun with this one. I just have to watch the live action one, and I found out that my parents have the VHS of Aladdin 3.
Shit.
If you want to plan some afternoon
Maybe
after work, unless you have it available already.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have to buy it if I don't get it in time, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'll try and get this
I'm going to make a plan to go to my mom and dad sometime this week and watch the VHS
Yeah,
of
we have to
Aladdin
watch
3.
it. We have to. This will be like the first VHS I've probably seen in like freaking 15 years.
My dad put one in not that long ago because he had something he wanted to show Macy, and I'm like, Jesus, this looks fucking awful. Like, we had to adjust the tracking and everything on it so the picture was clear. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
The fucking... Good. Anyway. So, yeah. We got Aladdin coming up, and we got Reetz coming.
Reetz is coming.
She's coming. She's already got him, I think, watched already. Went to go visit her at work, and she said, I'm on it. I'm on it, man. I'm like, great. God. So I just need to down those two, and then I'll be ready to go.
Yeah. I haven't even really dove into the live-action Aladdin yet.
I have it available right now.
Okay.
But I haven't watched it yet either.
Yeah.
But
so it's gonna be interesting.
It will. So if people want to give their thoughts about Aladdin to you personally, or talk about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, either one, what's coming or going,
Don't you dare close your eyes, rat turds. At Bucky for Everyone on Twitter.
Spacecom.
Spacecom. Bucky for Everyone on Instagram and Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can wish me well wishes also on Review Pod on Twitter as well.
Yes.
All of our shows are uploaded onto reviewreviewpod.podbean.com, as well as every other podcast site out there that you have. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people definitely find the show.
It does.
If you want to write in, you can do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Very good, JT.
Very good. We did it.
We fucking did it.
We did it.
We darn did it.
We're a little late, but we did it.
I'm glad you got. I'm glad you were able to push us off because I was feeling total hog ass on Wednesday.
We made it work.
That's very true.
I think it was good to get those to do some flashbacks from our other Disney reviews to get people all pumped for our next show.
Wet their palate.
Wet their palates, indeed.
So for here on out, we're going to be Disney-fied.
We're going to be Disney-fied up. And then after that, we're going to look into what we're going to do for our top turkey. Or leftover turkey, I mean.
That's right. That's right.
And I already have some ideas.
Okay.
I already saw that you can rent The Fanatic.
Oh my god. Great.
Man, poor John Travolta. We have to do him 2 years in a row.
Oh my god. So we can talk about this on and off air, but did you want to do that as like the Monday up instead of doing like Lady and the Tramp? Because that's going to come out around Thanksgiving.
Well, we should do it the show after Thanksgiving.
I know. So the Monday.
Yeah, sure.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, that's going to be the show.
That's the
See,
show.
Danger coming in right at the very tip top of the end
I
here.
thought you guys were done. Sorry.
We're clearing it up right now.
Clearing up.
We're on the home stretch. We're on the
That's
home
right.
stretch.
All right. Have fun, boys.
All right.
Keep tight.
But until next time, JT, I, of course, am Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am always JD3K.
And we are absolutely off.